folks. Why Would You Ask That is a podcast that answers some of the weirdest questions. A lot of those are inappropriate for some listeners. If you're squeamish, easily disturbed, or just having a bad day, this may not be for you. But if you've got to know the answers like we do, stay tuned.
Why Would You Ask That? Presented by me, M, they, them, and
Karen, she, her, and
Remy, he, they.
And today we are going to talk about how fucking haunted the White House is. Do you know how old that building is? How old is that building, Remy?
200 some odd.
It's very fucking old. And like most old things, it's haunted by all of its sins.
Yes, that is true.
Among other things. So, what are the specific ways, Remy, that the White House is really fucking haunted? Like, I know that there's, like, a guy, and that's it. I know that there's a guy.
So informed.
Yes, I am always informed. I am always on top of my game. I am always here.
100%.
Honey pea.
100%.
Honey pea. But yes, hit us.
Okay. Well, the White House is haunted largely with dead presidents. So that's what we're going to start out talking about.
How many of those could possibly be around?
How many dead presidents could there be around?
The White House specifically.
It depends on who you ask. What number president are we on? 47? Man, I should know that.
Yeah, that didn't seem like a correct guess.
46.
Okay.
You were closer than I was, so there you go.
I'm still stuck at 44, so...
Same.
Okay. Yeah, it depends on who you ask how many dead presidents are currently haunting the White House. So I'm just going to hit some highlights, because I couldn't possibly go over all of them. There's too many.
Sure, it's only 48.
40. No.
It's only 37.
Bruh!
Well, the White House...
23. Sorry, I couldn't resist one more. Okay.
The White House is arguably the most famous house in the country, if you're going by, like, political status, because there are other houses that are probably more famous for other reasons. But just, like, by virtue of the person who lives there and its political status, it's the most famous house in the country. So presidents and first ladies and White House staff and guests who have stayed at the White House have all reported ghosts and ghostly presences and hearing unexplained noises and even running into, like, apparitions, even on the way out of the bathtub in one particular case.
Taft.
Not who I was thinking of.
He's still stuck after all these years! Oh, okay. Sorry.
Isn't that how he died? He died in the bathtub? Not the presidential bathtub, obviously, but I think that's how he died. Or maybe it's a joke about got stuck there one time.
Well, I just Googled it and came up with a picture of the president in the bathtub, for one thing. So you know that happened. Apparently they called him Big Bill.
Yeah, he was big.
And he was Bill.
350 pounds. This says from history.com, what most remember about Taft is that he supposedly became stuck in the White House bathtub. And then they say, but the story, however, doesn't hold water.
Oh, they are so funny!
So there's this guy, Brady Carlson, author of the book Dead Presidents, An American Adventure into the Strange Deaths and Surprising Afterlives of Our Nation's Leaders. And he says, during Taft's presidency, the White House got a tub big enough that a president couldn't possibly have gotten stuck in it. Just weeks after Taft's 1908 election, the captain of a warship carrying the president-elect to inspect the Panama Canal requested a supersized bathtub capable of holding the heftiest man ever to occupy the Oval Office.
Wow.
A Manhattan company specially crafted the largest solid porcelain tub ever made for an individual, more than 7 feet long and 41 inches wide and weighing a ton, literally.
I want to sit in that tub.
Oh, big
Me
same.
too. It said the picture was in the Journal of Engineering review and showed a pond-like presidential bathtub with 4 men sitting inside of it.
Wow.
Hot shit.
I do have that picture.
Well, why don't you share with us, bro?
We're all learning something here together.
The point of the poem. Wow. There's
Look at
no
that
way.
tub.
There's no way he got stuck.
Oh my god, that guy on the right is a ghost.
You
You can see right through him.
There's no way he got stuck in there.
No.
Unless he, like, really oiled up.
So they installed those tubs all over the White House and on Taft's
all
yacht
over?
and in his brother's house in Texas.
All over! Damn, they were really... Wow!
They were thorough. They were like, he will never get stuck in a toilet. You know what this is? You know what
That's
this
a bathtub, Karen.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he will never get stuck in a bathtub, ever. You know what this is, though? You know what happened?
What?
Taft did get stuck in a bathtub in one timeline. And then time travelers on his side went into the future and they were like, or into the past, right? They went into the past and they were like, okay, Taft gets stuck in the bathtub and it like turns America on its head. So we have to fix it. So everybody make the biggest bathtubs ever. This is an American effort, okay? We have to do this to protect freedom. And so they do it. And that's how Taft did not get stuck in the tub, but we all kind of think that he did.
Makes sense. There is a story further down about him causing bathroom related mishaps though.
Oh no. We just got him out of one jam.
It says that after the presidency, he moved into a suite in a New Haven, Connecticut hotel with an immense bathtub that was, quote, deep enough to allow an ordinary sized man to float when it is filled.
Wow.
And that later at some point he went to a hotel that, quote, failed to properly consider the size of the average seashore hotel bathtub. So then he got into that bathtub and it was not big enough for him and all the water displaced out of it and flooded downstairs.
Oh my god.
Oh, poor guy.
It says specifically trickled onto the heads of guests in the downstairs dining room.
Oh no. Oh.
And then whoever was with him reported him saying, as he looked out over the Atlantic Ocean, quote, I'll get a piece of that fenced in someday, and then when I venture in, there won't be any overflow.
Wow.
It's so random. But yeah, I
think everybody identifies with that. We all want a giant bathtub.
Bathtub. I'm just going to fence in a bit of the ocean.
If I fence it in, can I make sure that what I want is fenced in and not what I don't want? Because I'm really scared of cookie cutter sharks.
Oh, no.
It's a really specific phobia.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
I'm just going to save this history.com thing about President Taft not actually getting stuck in a bathtub into our bookmark so I can now put that up on our site since we immediately took a detour into talking about it.
Why did you let me look this up, Em?
You decided this on your own.
Why do they look like that?
I don't know, but they're very scary.
Bro, these guys are fucking creepy. Suctorial lips? No!
Did you look at the shapes they cut out of things?
No!
It's like a perfect little fucking circle.
Oh my god, I see them now. Jesus Christ.
They just go up and they just take a chomp out of whatever.
Yeah, they just go and they take a little bitty piece of you.
Oh,
I think they kind of have a cute face.
No!
It's like a living melon baller.
I
The
hate
pictures
it.
from the Smithsonian look like they're smiling, but I won't post them because M's gonna be afraid of them.
Mm-hmm.
I
Karen's gonna
really
be
don't.
afraid of them.
I really don't like them. I'm specifically frightened of the cookie cutter shark. I'm more scared of the cookie cutter shark than I am of the bigger sharks.
You know what shark I think has the ugliest face? Goblin shark.
Fact. Sorry, bro.
Karen, have you heard of the goblin shark?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna look them up again. Oh, I like the frilled
They're kinda
shark.
cute.
Yeah, they're cool. They have a cool shape.
Yeah. Goblin sharks, yeah, those guys are messy. I love whale sharks.
Karen's just clicking on links at the top of the page.
Yeah. They're so big. Mouths. They just. If I were a fish, I would be that.
A whale shark?
Yeah. They're fish. They're sharks.
I think a whale shark is a whale, not a shark.
It's a shark.
The largest known extant fish species. It's a fish.
Okay, yeah, they're sharks. I couldn't remember which part of their name was correct.
Yeah, right.
Been there.
There's because there's a whale that also looks like a shark.
What whale is that?
I forget. Might be a porpoise.
The killer whale is actually a dolphin.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, the orca. Okay.
The orca. Because
I don't think it looks anything like a shark.
Okay, I can't think of the shark that looks, or the whale that looks like a shark right now. I'm stuck on the whale shark being a fish. And that's all the brain power I have for today. Thank you.
Okay. Now we can actually start.
What?
Okay. So I thought I'd go through some of the sightings that the White House has had for just like a lighter topic, considering the last several topics. Okay. Ghost sightings at the White House have been documented over the course of the last 200 years by scholars and newspapers and letters from the presidents that have been saved in the National Archives. Someone named Jared Broick, I think is his last name, who founded the company Nightly Spirits, which runs ghost tours just around the country, says that the White House ghosts, even if you wouldn't call them the most famous ghosts in the country, that they're the most verified ghosts in the country.
Oh, okay.
So,
Ghost
in his
verified
words,
ghosts. They've got a blue check mark.
yeah, he says he'd have to call about 8 different presidents liars to say the ghosts don't exist, which includes Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, okay. I was going to be like, well, I have no problem calling the president a liar.
Honest Abe.
Not Abe. Not Abe.
How do you know? Have you ever met him?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's egg on my face. I apologize.
You should. Me and my friend Abe.
Me and my friend Abe Lincoln.
So, Abraham Lincoln reported seeing his son Willie around the White House after his death in 1862 at age 11. Mary Todd Lincoln was famously so distraught over her son's death, as you would be, that she stayed in her room for weeks. And spiritualism was super popular during this time, as we've covered more than one time on this podcast. So she began holding seances in the White House. So his wife spoke about seeing Willie's ghost at the foot of her bed sometimes. And aside from that, she reported hearing Thomas Jefferson playing the violin and Andrew Jackson swearing.
Sounds about right, really.
Both things that both men were known for.
Yeah.
So you can chalk up her seeing her son's ghost to, like, her grief. But Abraham Lincoln also said that he saw his ghost, and he wasn't, like, the biggest believer in ghosts. But also, members of the Grant administration later reported seeing his spirit in the 1870s after that administration took over.
Wow.
And after President Lincoln's assassination, Abraham Lincoln's spirit also joined in.
Well, yeah, he's got to be with Willie.
Yeah, of course. Lincoln's ghost is the most well-known White House ghost also. Like, I think that's the one that anybody who's going to the White House for ghost tours knows about. Since he was assassinated, there have been just like a huge amount of workers who've seen him. First Lady Grace Coolidge said in a magazine account of seeing him looking out a window in what had been his office. And this is the bathroom account here. In the 1940s, Winston Churchill claimed to have encountered him wandering the halls when he visited. The story goes that like Churchill was staying at the White House after World War II and had just emerged from a bath. He was naked, smoking a cigar as he does. And
Sounds
he
right.
just was just doing his thing, naked, smoking a cigar, and met the president late at night. Allegedly, allegedly,
so
what? No. Allegedly, what Churchill said to him was, "Good evening, Mr. President. You seem to have me at a disadvantage."
He did not say that. I'm so sorry. I just can't stop thinking about buck naked Winston Churchill holding his cigar. He comes out of the tub and he's like, Abraham Lincoln. Oh my god. Just standing there being like, Winston. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'll stop.
Beautiful, though.
It's hilarious. I want a comic of this. It feels that's I think what makes it so real is that it sounds so fake. I don't even know Churchill's accent. I can't even do it. But
well, British.
Well, British? Remy? British? Which kind of British?
London.
That does narrow it down quite a bit. I have a really hard time with the London accent. It always turns out Australian. So, did he have a London accent, or was it?
I don't know.
Was
I
it
have
more?
to look it up now.
Oh, okay, now I'm gonna go look him up. Continue. Tell me what else he said.
It just says British aristocratic English.
I'm gonna listen. Hold on. Okay, yeah, he's got it. Yeah, okay. So what did he say?
Well, one report said, "You seem to have me at a disadvantage," and one says, according to his bodyguard who was there at the time, "You see, Mr. President, I have nothing to hide."
I mean, this just has to be real. I can't. It's so insane. It cannot be faked. Winston Churchill, out of the tub, lights up his cigar, and Abraham Lincoln was he in the bathroom? Or was he in his room? Did he go into his room naked? No judgments. I'm just trying to set the scene in my head.
Well, let's see. As far as I'm aware, he was just in the bathroom.
Oh, it's probably a big bathroom. Anyway,
And they had big tubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says, according to his bodyguard, stepping naked from his bath.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so his bodyguard was there. His name is Walter Thompson. And one of his secretaries, Patrick Keena. And they said that he said, "You see, Mr. President, I have nothing to hide," as he stepped naked from his bath. And then they wrote this all down later in a book or something. Yeah, okay. It says that they said it was that this is what they remember him saying. So it says the story goes that Roosevelt thought to call everybody together. 1941 is when this happened. And then this happened. And Roosevelt came and, quote, stark naked and gleaming pink from his bath is when this happened.
What the
Oh my God.
fuck?
Wait, Roosevelt?
How are we
Or
sure
still
that he
Churchill?
wasn't still alive?
It says it says, quote, the story goes that Roosevelt thought to call the new world body he hoped to organize after the war the, quote, United Nations. Excited about the name, he wheeled himself into Churchill's room. There he found Churchill, quote, stark naked and gleaming pink from his bath. and then they relayed the situation that happened with Lincoln. So Churchill saw Lincoln's ghost, said the thing, and then just sat around naked, I guess. And then the current president saw him also naked, I guess.
Well, as you can see, Mr. President, I have nothing to hide. Oh my god, to both presidents!
Was that actually a come on? Is it a come on?
Maybe. Maybe.
Later, a Roosevelt biographer, Robert Sherwood, talked to Churchill about this, and Churchill said, "I could not possibly have made such a statement as that. The president himself would have been well aware that it was not strictly true." And then he said, "I never would have seen the president without at least a bath towel." That's his problem with the story.
That is so fucking funny.
But then later he told King George VI, quote, "Sir, I believe I am the only man in the world to have received the head of a nation naked."
Aha!
I don't know about that, but...
Okay, and 2 years after that, Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands was sleeping in the Lincoln bedroom when she reportedly heard a knock on her bedroom door, opened it to see President Lincoln, and fainted.
She
You
fainted?
just be there.
Yes.
No, she fainted.
No, Lincoln fainted.
Oh.
Maybe they both fainted. And then, moving away from Lincoln, because probably a lot of people have seen Lincoln's ghost.
He just does this shit.
Yeah, he just likes to bother people at the weirdest times in their bedrooms, apparently.
Hello, I'm a real ghost. Just tell somebody.
Why is he British? He's from Kentucky.
He's dead.
And we've already established that all ghosts turn Victorian when they die, which means they all get an accent.
Exactly.
I guess so.
So, according to the White House Historical Association, White House staff have reported seeing First Lady Abigail Adams hanging laundry to dry in the East Room. To go with the inside, yes. To go with the sighting, staff report smelling the wet clothes and the lavender laundry detergent that she used. John Adams' wife only stayed in the White House for a few months as its first occupant, and while she was there, she did her own laundry.
Wow.
Huh.
Yes. And she used the East Room to hang out her laundry in 1800. And speaking of Taft from the beginning, so that we can just tie that back in, a sighting of her was reported there during the Taft administration 112 years later, when his staff and such could see her carrying her clothes around in her arms. What a sad afterlife.
Yeah. Stuck doing laundry.
She just must be pissed about things.
Not how I would want to spend my afterlife, alright?
I'm being a demon.
Yeah. At least have me do something fun, like,
Possess somebody.
possess somebody. Or, a succubus or something. I'd rather
Suck
do
your
that.
bus.
That's right. Right.
A bus.
Is that what the kids mean by bussin'?
Oh, dear me. Oh, God, that just came out of my mouth.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
No.
Okay, another First Lady who apparently still roams around in the White House is Dolly Madison, who has chosen a much better way than laundry to spend her afterlife. She inhabits the Rose Garden, just taking care of the flowers just forever.
Who knows? Maybe Madison and Adams are like girlfriends and they're like not either of these places. It's just the places that they show up.
I mean, they've got to have a lot more going on with their afterlives than laundry and flower tending. There's got to be a lot of other things happening. And then somebody shows up in either one of those places, and then they're just like, oh my God, I'm on. Hold on. I gotta go hunt this guy.
They can never know.
So during the Woodrow Wilson administration, staff members reported seeing Dolly Madison's ghost as they were about to move the Rose Garden. Apparently, she super doesn't want the Rose Garden to move, so they decided not to move it because she bothered them so much about it.
Damn. Go, Madison.
It's work, gal.
You tell them who's boss. Yeah.
Fucking don't do this shit. Fucking don't do that shit. My God, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Don't touch my flowers! Who do you think you are? Everyone gets a Victorian accent except for M when they die.
Yeah, I
M-
become Bostonian.
Bostonian.
And then there's Andrew Jackson, 7th President of the United States, 1829 to
Boo.
37. That guy. He's awful. We hate him.
Don't want to see your ghost.
Ghosts could eat shit.
Yeah, do that. He used to sleep in the Rose Room, and so people see him there. He's reported being seen just like lying in his old bed and laughing. And also people hear him swearing because he's just that kind of person. Why laughing?
Why laughing? Well, he's laughing at everyone's misery because he's that kind of person.
That's just so that's disturbing. Okay, the demon cat. Now we're going to talk about the demon cat that stalks the government buildings, government buildings
Multiple.
around DC. So, Steve Livengood, the chief tour guide of the US Capitol Historical Society, says, quote, "It's probably the most common of all the ghost stories in the Capitol, partly because of the physical evidence."
Physical evidence?
What the fuck? Oh my god, those are kitty cat paw prints. That's intriguing.
Kitty cat paw prints in the tile.
It's concrete. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, stepping in concrete.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was steps in the water.
Oh.
So the stories of the demon cat date back to the 1800s. Here's more of the quote from Steve. Quote, "The story probably goes back to the post-Civil War era. The main thing is that the people who would see it particularly were the night watchmen." End quote. So the first recorded appearance of the demon cat was in the Capitol in 1862. During the Civil War, the Capitol's basement was used as a bakery to feed soldiers, and the demon cat appeared there a couple of times.
So who decided it was a demon?
So the first time that it was ever recorded was because a guard fired a gun at it, and it disappeared.
Oh.
The most common version of the legend goes that a night watchman was on patrol when he saw a cat approaching, a black cat, of course.
It always is.
It seems to be. So in those days, cats were not an uncommon sight in the building. They were introduced as, like, rodent population control.
Mousers.
However, as the cat came closer, it just like kept growing and growing in size until it was as big as a tiger, he said.
Oh my god, so cute.
Wasn't there a story like that?
I saw other sources say that the cat could be as big as an elephant.
Wow.
That's debatable.
Debatable?
Debatable.
What do you mean debatable?
What was he on? And how big is the elephant that he knows of?
That is a good point. No, I feel like everyone knows how big an elephant is. It's big.
What if it's a baby elephant?
I think he means an adult elephant.
Just an elephant. Are we talking African or Indian?
They are roughly the same size.
No.
Okay. Do you want to do a weight comparison?
No. I don't care if you're right or wrong. I only care about what I say.
I'm looking it up.
Well, African elephants, the biggest difference is the ears. Okay.
African elephants are cuter.
Indian elephants are cute.
Okay.
What are you
Look at the
talking about?
babies. Look at the
Okay.
babies.
Okay. Listen. African elephants can grow to 13 feet tall and weigh 13,000 pounds. Asian elephants can grow to about 9 feet tall and weigh 8,000 pounds. The elephants that are used in most circuses are female Asian elephants. Circuses were in the United States from about 1790 on, and these sightings took place from 1860 on. So, compiling the three things that I just Googled while you two were going back and forth. He would have known what an elephant looked like and how big it was because he probably would have seen a circus by now.
Well.
Okay. So the demon cat, it's just a cat that gets bigger? Does he bring about mischief or misfortune?
No, here's what the cat did. The cat pounced onto him, and he fell down, and he said he tried to protect himself, and then the cat vanished in the midair.
Oh,
Oh.
That's it.
He just wanted to play. He was just feeling playful. He just forgot about how big he was. Oh my god, it's Clifford the Big Red Cat.
So, some reports say that the cat is a tabby cat, so it's not even always a black cat. And some reports say it's a black cat, but the stories all have the cat transforming like that. There's another account from 1935 that was published in the Washington Post that added another detail to the story where one observer remarked that the demon cat's eyes, quote, glowed with all the hue and ferocity of the headlights of a fire engine, end quote.
Wow.
That's really that's really something.
Yeah, that's bright. We got to send our friend that's in DC. We got to send her to the White House to find this demon cat.
Oh, our former camera lady.
Yeah.
We should tell her to go take a tour. Yes. Go tell her to take a ghost tour. I don't know how afraid she is of ghosts.
She's not. I mean, I don't imagine she is.
She doesn't seem like the type.
She's the type who doesn't seem afraid of anything, really. Anything that's, like, paranormal.
Should tell her to go do some field work for us.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about the fact that we had somebody that we knew who lived in DC. One of us has got to remember to send her a message about this. Somebody do it right now, because we'll all forget.
She's probably asleep right now.
Well, that doesn't mean you can't send her a message. I mean, I guess it does. But she won't see it until tomorrow. Okay. So, like with any ghost story, it's changed a bit as time has gone on from, like, just that to supposedly heralding presidential transitions to national tragedies. So, for some examples, as the tales go, a White House guard saw the demon cat just before the stock market crash in 1929, supposedly. Allegedly, another White House night watchman saw the demon cat prior to FDR's assassination in 1963.
But they're only saying this after the fact.
Yes, probably. I would imagine.
Okay.
As you do.
I mean,
yeah, go on.
I mean, if you see a ghost, you talk about it. The assassination would happen.
I would imagine. I would imagine if they had seen it first, they would have talked about it. But reported this way, I would think that probably they just talked about it afterwards.
Exactly.
Probably FDR got assassinated, and then some guy went, "Oh my god, you know what? I saw the demon cat just before this happened. I knew this was going to happen."
And then everyone's like, "Well, if you saw the demon cat before, why didn't you say anything?" Real quiet.
He's like, "Well, I didn't know what he was saying. He jumped at me. I got real scared." So what's kept the demon cat legend alive for, some odd, almost like 150 years? A couple of features in the Capitol building are said to be evidence of the demon cat's existence. I sent you the little cat prints. The most famous of them is the paw prints in the concrete of the small Senate rotunda, is where that's at.
So cute.
And it is cute. In 1898, the Capitol building was damaged by a gas explosion. And according to Steve Livingood from earlier, in some spots, the original stone was replaced by concrete. He says, quote, "It's quite possible that a cat walked across the wet concrete, just enough to leave a small impression. It's as you come out of the old Supreme Court chamber. There may be 6 or 8 pretty clear ones," end quote. And in another part of the building, Livingood says that the letters DC have been scratched into the concrete. And he says, quote, "Everyone says, that's the demon cat putting its initials there," end quote.
No!
That's a little silly.
Demon cat.
Definitely not District of Columbia.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Silly to think it was.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
So I think people probably think that these teeny little paw prints right here are from a ghost because there's no paw prints around it,
Yeah.
That's probably it.
Just cats do weird shit all the time.
Yeah. I mean, we live with 3.
Yeah.
That's probably, in 1898, some 1898 person came around later and was like, "Where did these paw prints come from? There aren't any other paw prints. Oh my god. How did the cat get here, but not there or there?"
We're setting the concrete, and this guy, he like finds a cat somewhere. He goes in, he's like, I'm gonna mess with everybody. And then he puts the paws right at that spot, and then he's like, okay. And then he takes the cat away. Everyone's left with this mystery. Ooh, it's a demon cat. And meanwhile, he's in his grave going, stupid idiots. The cat's just going like
meow.
like meow.
The demon cat mystery had been going on for 30 years at that point, so that guy, that prankster, he would have known exactly what he was doing.
You see? He knows what's up.
And humans have been idiots forever. And so,
I mean, just look at the graffiti in Pompeii.
oh my gosh. I gotta add to our topic list that we need to talk about stupid graffiti.
Please.
We'll start it off with Banksy.
We can only go up from there.
Because I was reading something like a while back about humans being idiots, and there's like a myth or something about prostitution and tourism in Pompeii, and they said the myth, and I don't remember off the top of my head. It's one of those things that when I hear somebody say it, I know that it's wrong, and then I can't ever remember it until I hear it again.
Is it the dick slippers?
That might be it.
That's the one that I think of off the top of my head. The dick slippers.
What?
So one of those things is that people say prostitutes back in Pompeii and like the Greco-Roman era and everything had slippers with little phalluses on the bottom to leave impressions of dicks, so that if somebody needed, some services, then they could just follow the dicks.
No.
Yeah.
That's dumb. People believe that?
Yeah. You actually, it's surprising to find out that people will believe things. I don't know if it's true or not. Honestly, history is so fucking weird that I'll believe anything, but not until Remy tells me what it is.
Well, here, while we're taking a brief detour, and because I'm almost done with our actual topic, this is why people believe that.
That's a dick. But that's
but it's
convex.
Outward. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not
it
concave.
Is.
I don't.
It is. I am aware.
Why do people? I mean, it's just dicks, people. People be drawing dicks, all right?
So those are official signs in Pompeii. Like this is a sign outside of a building with a frame on it. But tour guides like to repeat this thing about how people would advertise prostitution services with penises and shoes with penises on there, so that you would always know how to follow the prostitutes to where they're going or whatever. And this is a myth, yes. But no, these are just symbols for other purposes, but not prostitution related purposes. Those signs show up all over the place, but not outside of brothels even. This sign right here in the picture shows up outside of somebody's personal house.
They just love dick.
It wards off the evil eye.
What? I'm gonna be looking at that. My eyes are evil as fuck.
It says, renowned classicist Mary Beard proposes that they simply reflect a masculine society with a penchant for erotic art.
I mean, that's exactly what no matter what area you're in, people just love the dick.
Now, there was an enormous amount of graffiti, though, in ancient times where people literally did write things like, I had sex with Perseus's mom, and stuff like that. Like, that kind of graffiti still existed in, like, places like Pompeii. And, like, the Vikings drew penises on things, and for a good time called Yelfi and stuff like that. People have been putting stuff like that on things for as long as people have known how to draw. It's a fun topic, and I don't think enough people know it.
No, yeah. I don't know enough about it.
New episode idea just dropped, y'all.
Yeah.
Now we can circle back. Okay. So Steve says that he can probably figure out where the idea originated. He can probably put together the idea for where the story originated for the demon cat. He says the original night watchmen weren't professionals of any sort, that they initially just started out as, like, quote, some senator's ne'er-do-well brother-in-law that had a drinking problem, end quote.
Wow.
Yeah. So in the early Capitol Guards, what would happen was they would often just drink on the job and stuff, according to Steve, and that they might like pass out and stuff like that. So he said that he thinks that when one of the building's cats came and was like licking on one of their faces when he was like drunk and passed out, that they probably just imagined the scenario the way that it was, that the cat was like some sort of like big monster, or that something had happened that had not happened. But when the guard in question reported like his imagination, like hallucination ramblings to his superior, the boss couldn't like discipline him for drinking because of his like connections, and this like with the senators or whatever. So the guard just got sent home to whatever. We have, in the modern
Amazing.
day, we've all had coworkers that didn't get punished for doing things that they should have gotten punished for.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other guards, according to Steve, quote, then the other guards realize that if they see the cat and get attacked, then they get a day off. And that's how history gets written, end quote.
That's good.
Yeah. Steve says that in the modern day and age, he has almost never heard any stories about the cat from visitors. He says, though, that still Living Good sees ghost stories as an important part of the building's history. He says they humanize the building. One of the things I try to get across to people as I'm giving a tour is that the spirit of the people who built the building and the people who have acted out history in it are still there, and that ghost stories just play a part in the history of the Capitol. And the cat is included in that.
Yeah.
The end.
This was a cute topic. Now I'm going to be thinking about that demon cat.
Oh, well, he lives with us. His
Sonny.
name is Sonny. I tell him this all the time. Demon Man. Little fucker. In fact, he's right here.
He says,
Hey,
you rang.
man. He's giving me this look like, I really wish you would just go the fuck to bed. He's sitting in my other chair because he thinks that's his chair.
He's our fourth co-host.
Yes. Well, thanks everybody for joining us to explore a little bit of the White House ghosts and listen to how naked Winston Churchill could have been at some point.
No, he was definitely naked. Whether or not he saw the ghost, we're not sure.
Listen, I don't know. Okay.
Listen.
Fuck.
Thanks
I
so
know.
much for to your usual outro.
But thanks everybody for listening. We are very excited to take your questions too, because we want to hear them and we want to answer them, and we are so super qualified to answer questions. So what you can do is you could visit our website, which is whywouldyouskthat.com, and go to that little contact form, throw in a question, or you can email us at whywouldyouskthatpod@gmail.com. So please send us your questions. We don't care how weird it is, how gross it is. Just don't ask any personal questions. That's our one line. Ask your weird questions. That's what we want. So thank you for listening. This is M, Karen, and Remy, and ask us some shit. Thank you. Good night.